But let's analyze this video with all due respect to the lady, and I ask you to also respect her in the comments, because nothing I'm going to say here is directed at her. Instead, I will just use her case as a case study for us to examine how relationships are going and how people's feelings are.
What you're saying is so absurd, I have to laugh. People, I'm going to cry. I work at a jewelry store here in my city, and at the store there are police officers who provide security there, right? So there are several officers who take turns there, just keeping watch. And some time ago, one of them left, and a new officer, took the old one's place. And on the day this officer arrived, folks, wow, I couldn't work anymore because he completely distracted me. He was the most handsome man I had ever seen in my life. Tall, with that tough guy look, blue eyes, what a man. He was handsome, really handsome. I swear I tried to act natural, but it was impossible. He was very noticeable, really noticeable. One day I arrived much earlier at the store, and when I got there, he was already outside. So I walked past him and went to get a coffee at the bakery next door. When I was passing by, I said, "Good morning, how are you?" just out of politeness, you know, a good morning like that. Then he turned to me and said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to get a coffee over there." He turned to me and said, "Can I buy you a coffee?" I said, "Of course, my heart." When he said, "Can I buy you a coffee?" my heart was racing. Outwardly I kept calm, saying, "Of course you can." So we went to the bakery, had a coffee together, and we talked a lot, about everything, really. He asked if I was in a relationship, and I said yes, that I was dating someone. We had a coffee together, talked a lot, about everything. He asked if I was committed, and I said yes, I was dating. Then he asked for my number, my WhatsApp. I made a scene telling him I didn't want any trouble, that if there was going to be trouble with his wife, it would be better if he didn't take my number. He said that would never happen, that he would never bring or cause any problem for me, that it wasn't what he wanted at all. So, after making a scene, I gave him my WhatsApp. Almost every day, whenever we could, we talked. We started going out, and after a while, he left, but we continued seeing each other. It turned into a relationship because there was jealousy. He paid my rent, gave me many gifts, kept me informed about what he was doing, and I did the same for him. It became a relationship. As I said, he paid my rent. One day we were talking and he told me he couldn't stand his wife anymore, that he couldn't bear living in the same house as her. So we started talking and I suggested, let's take action, break up with her, I'll break up with my boyfriend. I suggested, let's take action, break up with her, I'll break up with my boyfriend. We can be together even if we wait about a month and then make it official. I told him to break up with her and he agreed, saying, "It's true, we should take the initiative." I was so happy. I was over the moon. Nothing could bring me down at that moment. Nothing. That same day, I messaged my boyfriend and told him I needed to talk to him. At night, he came over and I told him it wasn't working anymore, that I wanted to break up. He asked why and I said there was no reason, it just wasn't working. He cried a lot, he didn't expect the breakup, and he suffered a lot. But after breaking up with him, I realized I didn't feel anything for him anymore because it didn't affect me at all. I was even surprised because I used to love my boyfriend. After breaking up, I saw that I really had no feelings for him, so I was doing the right thing. The next day, my lover called me, saying he had broken up with his wife, that it was tough but necessary. So I told him, "Come pick me up today so we can be together tonight." He turned to me and said he needed some time, that he was going to the countryside to stay at a friend's house for a few days, to get away from everything, especially his ex, to breathe some fresh air. I didn't like it, but I couldn't stop him. I said, "Okay, when you come back, we'll see what we do." So he went away but he disappeared for 3 days. He wouldn't answer my calls and every time I called, his phone was off. My messages didn't go through and he didn't reply. I was so anxious, not knowing anything about him until one day, during my lunch break, I started getting lots of messages from my friend. When I opened them, there were screenshots. She said, "Look at this." When I opened the photos, you wouldn't believe it. Screenshots of him with a woman on the beach. And there was even a photo of their hands with rings. By coincidence, my friend followed this woman. She was also from our city. And it was this woman who posted the photos. After seeing those photos, I was furious. So I went to her profile, sent her screenshots of bank transfers he made to me, photos from my gallery full of him, the first photo we took, the date we were together, everything. I sent screenshots of our conversations, where he said he had left his wife for me, that he loved me. I was anxiously waiting for her to see and reply. After a while, she blocked me. At least I wasn't the only fool. He had this power, you see. So I decided to forget him, move on because it was affecting my health. Then, at work, who shows up? Him, saying he wouldn't leave without talking to me. I told him to wait outside and I'd go. He started explaining himself, but I asked him to move on with his life and not to contact me again. After that, I blocked him everywhere and moved on with my life.
You feel bad, but when they also get it, and I'm not judging or saying this happened to her, but this happens a lot, guys. When she decides to dump someone and things go very wrong in life, she's also in this situation. I'm telling you, guys, again, I'm not saying this is her case, okay? But it happens a lot. When a woman in her 40s kicks you out, thinking life out there will be very different and she'll enjoy being single more, that she'll meet many guys. You saw what she said? I understood that she didn't have a relationship, she went through several. Maybe she was married and it didn't work out, maybe she dumped the guy, or maybe the guy dumped her. She doesn't say anything specific here. This is, we let our minds wander. As we have some life experience, our minds end up wandering here, man. So, it could be that she dumped him or got dumped and went out to meet new people, live a new life, as I always tell you. But there were many, many disappointments. Many disappointments, man. And this happens a lot. Again, I'm not judging, I'm not saying it's her case, but it happens a lot. And I constantly tell you that. What I see is this, man. Today it's really hard to get into a relationship, regardless of the sides, man. Whether for men or women. But what I see, man, is that many distinguished ladies are leaving their relationships with. I'm talking about our side now, okay? She talked about her side, now I'll talk about ours, okay? Even though she talked a little about both sides, she emphasized the women's side. So, man, what I see is this. On our side, there are many divorced women looking for a relationship, but they come with many problems, many emotional traumas. And this is affecting relationships. On the other hand, men are also leaving relationships where they faced problems that affected their psychological state. And the guy, you know when, like a dog bitten by a snake that is afraid of sausages? It's kind of like that. It's kind of that phrase to make a point here for us, okay? So, when the guy leaves the relationship, he leaves promising himself that he doesn't want it anymore, and he just wants to have fun. The distinguished ladies leave the relationship saying, no, I'll find something better. So, there's this mismatch. And I agreed with what she said there. Because they want a serious relationship, they want something nice. But the guys just want, do you have a house? Do you live alone? The guys just want fun, man. The truth is, the guys just want fun. And she leaves the relationship wanting commitment. So, this balance is a bit off, and it won't close anytime soon, man, because we don't want relationships anymore. Don't forget to subscribe and leave your like.